Welcome back, team. Welcome to week 5 of virtual learning. This is a little bit of a new format for me. I'm trying out Screencastify. I hope you all don't mind. In addition, I've also changed the way that our assignments are going to look for the week. I'm trying to trickle down the amount of pages you have to open and making sure that all of the information is contained in one spot. So without further ado, this is actually your statistics week 5. And this week is going to be all about the probability models. From talking to students, there's a lot of confusion for how to go through some of these problems. And I wanted to give you another opportunity to just go at your pace and learn the material as quickly as you can, but also at the same time, taking your time to learn all about Chapter 17. This week, we'll be finishing up Chapter 17, the probability models, and this document will be the basis of our class material for the week. I changed the format to help you keep information organized and for me to be as transparent as possible. Your only task for the week is to complete the assessment for Chapter 17. Essentially, take your test and you're done for the week. The assessment will open officially Wednesday at 8 a.m. and close on Friday at 2 p.m. You'll have 1 hour to complete the assessment, and once you begin, it'll automatically close. Each day, there's going to be a window of opportunity for you to take the assessment starting on Wednesday, and it'll be open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I don't want you taking the test in the middle of the night. I don't want you taking it at a time that you're not going to really be learning if we were really in the classroom. So take the time to take the assessment anywhere between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. If you have any issues, please reach out to me and we can talk about accommodations and what needs to happen. But I set the constraints to the test for those times so that way you can take them. For this week, you're going to have several tasks, and you do not need to turn in anything for tasks numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4. The only thing you really have to do this week is take the assessment. I recommend going through the tasks as they'll give you a good summary of what you need to do for the entire week and give you a good review, preview, and practice. But really, the only thing that you have to do is the assessment. There will be no reassessment for this assessment given this week. Once you take it, that's the grade you're going to get. I'll explain more during our live session, but for the purpose of this class, for the rest of the year, there will be no reassessments for the assignments that are going to be provided. So really take the time to learn the material, to come to our virtual office hours and ask questions, so that way we can get you as much information as possible before we continue. The pacing for this week, I'll talk about the tasks in a second. You're going to try and finish tasks 1 and 2 by Monday, task number 3 by Tuesday, task 4 by Wednesday, and ultimately take your test sometime in between Wednesday to Friday. You'll see below here, there's a bunch of resources. There's our Chapter 17 book, exercise problems, the solutions to those problems, a calculator for you to use, a software for a calculator if you want to download it, and then a link back to last week's materials just in case you need to go back. The tasks for this week, you may have already begun by doing task number 1, watching this virtual learning week 5 expectations video. It's just me talking to you about what we're going to be doing, getting you the opportunity to hear the directions out loud. And yeah, so you've already finished task 1. Congratulations. Task 2 will be to review Chapter 17 notes and problems. A lot of students who emailed me and started to ask me questions about Chapter 17 replied that they did not take notes on the book. They didn't read the chapter. They didn't take notes on it. And then they had a lot of questions for how to do the math. Really take time to write down some notes and make a cheat sheet for yourself so that way you can use that for the test on Friday. In addition, please review all of the practice problems that I assigned you. There's 8 of them, and there's answers to all of them, all located onto my YouTube channel, and you can go ahead and go back and click week 4 materials that can get you caught up. All of the links are there. Task number 3 is extra practice, and I put in quotes, or I put in brackets, extra notes. There's going to be extra notes in this section that you can or cannot use. For some students, you kind of just want another way of thinking about things. And for some, you're just like, hey, I just want extra practice. This is the time where I would have you make a cheat sheet for yourself so that way you can use on the test. It's not required to make one, but I really recommend you have one. The video has another way. It may be faster if you have a calculator to solve these problems, but it's not required. You will need a calculator to go through and access those extra notes. However, you won't need those extra notes in order for you to do well on the test. The test, you can do everything by hand. You do not need a calculator for to do this specific method. Ultimately, when you have your cheat sheet ready to go, you'll be able to come down and take your practice test. Here, I linked a practice test. This is the exact quiz that I gave last year. The quiz this year will have a couple different types of questions on it, but ultimately the same thing. Please identify and determine which question is binomial or geometric in nature. I have students identify which model to use first, because once you're in the middle of a test and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, I forgot which one is which, it's really hard for you to kind of break through and decipher what it is, especially if you didn't really prepare for it. So please make sure that you understand the differences and you're able to identify that on the test. Here you'll be able to practice for this practice test. The solutions will be posted there shortly. Right now there's no link to it. I'm getting the practice test done. In addition, task number 5, chapter 17, task number 5, chapter 17, assessment. The test window will be open from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. starting on Wednesday. It'll close on Friday, and you'll have exactly 1 hour to complete the assessment. Do not start the assessment until you're ready to go. For that, we will be ending the unit on Friday, and you'll be seeing another video like this and another task sheet for next week that will hopefully lead you into the final stretch for this year and the final wave of learning for statistics in order for you to essentially pass the class. So without further ado, you can go ahead and get started on the tasks for the week. I will catch you during our learning sessions, and I will see you next time.